Yes, scholars, ladies and gentlemen, in the last session, we discussed the American government and its policy shift and efforts to promote human rights and democracy in the Middle East, including the Gulf countries after the 9/11. And in the session, we talked about the Freedom Agenda, which was launched by the Bush administration in the wake of 9/11 for the Middle East. And we also discussed the goals, the objectives, the strategies, the tools, and methods adopted by the American government and its various departments. And we were discussing the role of the Congress, the State Department, and several other American governmental organizations played the role played by them. So today we take the topic forward: use of soft power. The administration used soft power tools. These tools included and shaming. Persuasion and shaming. Public statements, public criticisms were used to shame the governments in the Gulf countries so that they introduce reforms. They realize and they introduce reforms. These tools were also used earlier in Central and Eastern Europe. The administration also used civic education and propaganda strategies. Other tools used by the US included exchange programs, public diplomacy, training programs, funds, and conditionalities. Conditionalities were attached to the Middle East Free Trade Zone proposal and global US aid related to governance. In 2002, US aid was increased by 50% after the 9/11. Section 4.2: Departments, programs, and initiatives involved. Yes, it is coming now. The president gave direction to the whole administration. After that, many government bodies, departments, and organizations started working. They worked on making and carrying out the democracy promotion policy in the Gulf countries and other Middle Eastern states. The State Department played the biggest role. It worked at both stages, making the policy and applying the policy. Congress provided money for the programs. Congress also provided the legal tools needed for the policy. Congress also kept watching how the policy was being carried out. Two bureaus inside the State Department carried out the policy: the Bureau of Near Eastern Affairs and the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor. Congress approved the policies and funds for the Middle East Partnership Initiative, MEPI. Congress also approved the policies and funds for the Human Rights and Democracy Fund, HRDF. HRDF gives money to the Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, DRL. MEPI gets its money from the Economic Support Fund. DRL also gives financial support to the National Endowment for Democracy, NED. Congress also passed the needed legal acts. One such act was the Advanced Democracy Act of 2007. Another one was the 9/11 Commission International Implementation Act of 2007. These acts encourage and help the Saudi government to bring reforms in many areas. Under these acts, the US gives financial help to governments that reform their educational systems. It is believed that the act helps address the root causes of religious extremism in Saudi Arabia. The act explains why Congress believes its role is important. The act says Saudi Arabia has very few political avenues for citizens. Very few political avenues for citizens. They don't have parties. They can't organize rallies. They can't hold public meetings. They can't demand their political rights. They can't criticize the government. So the act said Saudi Arabia has very few political avenues for citizens.
So to vent out
Uh,
their
yes, and
emotions, anger, or some sort of.
exactly. So, in American view and in view of many others, these things lead to extremism and terrorism. So, these were the causes behind the 9/11 events. So, that is why the Americans linked the American security to democracy and human rights and freedom in the Middle East, in the Arab world. The act says this situation is a threat to US security, world security, and even Saudi Arabia's own security. The act says Saudi Arabia must bring political and economic reforms. These include giving more political rights to citizens. These include increasing the rights of women. These include deep educational reform. The act says the US policy is to support Saudi Arabia in making political, economic, and social reforms. So, Congress pushed Saudi Arabia to bring reforms in political, social, and economic areas. The Bush administration launched at least 14 programs and initiatives from 2000 to 2008. In this table, the names of those organizations and initiatives are given along with the year when they were established. In 2006, Middle East and North Africa Business Women's Network was established. In 2004, Broader Middle East and North Africa BMENA, and 2005, US Saudi Arabian Strategic Dialogue, SESRIS.
What all countries are included in B MENA other than the MENA?
MENA, Middle East and North Africa,
So,
it's a broader area, but including the Gulf countries also.
Gulf countries are part of MENA.
Middle East,
MENA, yes. Middle East and North.
yes. Middle East and North Africa. It is broader than Middle East.
Some West Down. जी मैं भी सर क्लास में हूँ आपको कॉल बैक कर लूँगा मैं यूनिवर्सिटी में क्लास में हूँ जी थैंक यू
So Middle East includes all the Arab world.
Sir, my question is focused on difference in MENA and BMENA.
Why Middle East? What is
Yes, MENA is a region.
Sir.
Middle East and Africa is a region.
Sir.
This BMENA is an organization. Broader Middle East and North Africa, it was an organization which was launched in 2004
Sir.
to push the freedom agenda.
Okay. In MENA.
In the city, in MENA. In MENA, yes. In 2002, the Middle East Partnership Initiative was launched, MEPI. MEPI Alumni Network was also launched. Then Radio Sawa, Office of Global Communication. All these were in 2002 launched. American Kuwaiti Alliance AKA in 2003. Middle East Free Trade Area MEFTA was launched in 2003. And next three were launched in 2005. Foundation for the Future, Fund for the Future, and Forum for the Future. And US Saudi Arabian Strategic Dialogue and Bahrain Forum for Public-Private Partnership. There I typed the year here, but there's some problem in the slide. The year is not, yes. Otherwise, it is available in my thesis.
Right.
These programs help democracy promotion in different ways. Section 4.3a, Awareness Campaign. Awareness campaigns are very important for promoting democracy. Their importance cannot be overstated. An awareness campaign for democratization can include many different activities. It can include many types of efforts. The Bush administration started propaganda campaigns for this purpose. It organized trips, tours, and exchanged visits. The purpose was to increase people-to-people contacts between Americans and Arabs from the Gulf. Conferences, video conferences, and seminars were held. Group discussions were arranged. Debates, dialogues, and forums were arranged. A large number of issues related to democratization were discussed in these events. Issues related to reform in the Gulf were also discussed. These events were held inside and outside the Gulf region. People from democratic countries other than America also joined these people to people events. Many people from the Gulf got a chance to hear the talks on democracy. Many people from the Gulf got a chance to talk about human rights. They talked about women's empowerment. They talked about reforms. At a certain level, democracy is basically about human rights.
Sure.
If a state if a state is democratic, people have rights.
Rights and duties. Duties.
People are less concerned about duties.
In an undemocratic environment, they only have duties.
And in democratic environment, they only have rights.
They have both.
They should have
And
both,
in-
but
in-
generally they don't
In,
have.
in a true democracy, people have rights as well as duties.
How much gap is there in the realism and idealism?
Yes, yes, there's a lot of.
There is a gap.
Yes, yes, but actually, in this modern age, we have some exemplary societies where people are dutiful as well. They have rights, they have freedoms, but they also observe their duties towards the society, towards the state. So at least it is clear that it is possible. It is doable.
But even then, there is despair is existing there as well.
Yes, in some sense, in some countries with varying degrees, yes, particularly in the underdeveloped world, yes.
I'm talking about that developed democratic environments where the people have these
Freedoms and
sense
duties.
sense of freedom as well as duties.
Yes. In fact, we should keep in mind there's nothing perfect in this universe.
So,
There's nothing absolute. Okay. So always there is a margin to improve. Always there is a margin to improve. For example, this color is black. This is red. But they are not absolutely black or red. It can be more black. It can be more red. It is possible.
yes.
So similarly, the individuals, the nations, the societies, none of them is absolutely perfect.
Sir.
None of them is absolutely bad.
Sir.
A bad person can even be worse.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Again, there is also margin.
Yes.
A good person can be better.
Yes. Sir.
Similarly, a good democracy can improve. Still, there's margin, and always the margin will be there always.
Yes.
So there are problems with varying degrees. The best democracies in the world still they have some problems,
Yes.
and they will continue to have problems
Yes.
always.
Yes, sir.
There will never be any human society where there's no problem at all.
This is dynamism.
You can say yes.
Dynamic approach.
Yes. So the Robert Dahl, in fact, has talked about given another concept that is polyarchy.
Sir.
Polyarchy is a perfect democracy, which has achieved perfection.
Sir.
And none of the democracies in the world
Has
is
reached polyarchy.
yes, is not polyarchy.
Yes, sir.
But
There's
the
conceptual polyarchy is there.
yes, conceptual polyarchy that is perfect.
Sir.
So the states are required and they can make efforts to reach that stage, to achieve that goal. This is how improvement and development is done. So they talked about women's empowerment, they talked about reforms. All these activities help spread the demand for democratic governance.
Slide number, sir?
198.
Okay, sir.
198.
Yeah.
All these activities helped spread the demand for democratic governance among the people in the Gulf. These activities played a major role in spreading this message. The administration worked with many institutions and organizations. Among them were public organizations, public private organizations, international organizations, and local private organizations. These groups helped in pushing the democratization agenda forward. Because of this wide involvement, the administration was able to reach larger audiences in the Gulf. The activities were spread out geographically. The activities were spread out across different months and years. So temporarily it was also
Sir,
spread out. Many different venues were selected. Spreading activities across time and place is an important part of an effective awareness campaign. MEPI focused on encouraging engagement between youth from Arab and democratic countries. MEPI programs had a public diplomacy agenda. Some MEPI programs connected participants from Arab countries with Americans. In some programs, Arabs were invited to America. The purpose was to create interactions for promoting reforms. MEPI Alumni Network played an important role in the awareness campaign. The Forum for the Future also played an important role. Both helped run the awareness campaign through debate and dialogue. In 2008, the fifth Forum for the Future was held in Dubai. The slow pace of democratic reform was discussed. The need to engage the youth in civil society organizations was discussed. Corruption was also discussed. Corruption was treated as a sign of bad governance. At the first regional summit of the MEPI Alumni Network, 16 panels were formed. These panels discussed how to expand civic activism in different areas of life. Panels discussed issues about government institutions, electoral systems, free media education, women's empowerment, and legal restrictions on NGOs. Participants also talked about how to empower entrepreneurs and how to promote public private partnerships. Activities of the American Kuwaiti Alliance helped spread liberal democratic norms in Kuwait. In September 2008, the Alliance hosted a traditional Kuwaiti cultural gathering called Ramadan Gabga. People from Kuwaiti and American governments attended this function. People from different sectors of Kuwaiti society also attended. Among them were business people, academics, and members of the US Embassy in Kuwait. So, such events provide opportunities for people to people interactions, people to people contacts. Such exchanges promoted cultural understanding. They encouraged the sharing of values. In the next month, the Alliance arranged another get together. It was held in honor of the Young American Business Fellow Association. Students from Kuwait University also took part. A special radio station called Radio Sawa was launched for the Middle East. Radio Sawa also broadcasts live on the internet. Its website has a separate transmission for the Gulf region. Many topics were discussed at different forums. Among the topics were political freedoms, religious tolerance, and ethnic tolerance. In 2004, the National Union of Kuwaiti Students held its annual conference. The American Kuwaiti Alliance sponsored that conference. In 2007, the Alliance organized a multi-city tour for Kuwaiti dignitaries. They visited Washington, Chicago, and Atlanta. 6 American corners and universities in Oman became centers for democratic awareness activities, as we have Lincoln Corners in Pakistan.
Yes.
The US State Department launched the Democracy Video Challenge on International Democracy Day, September 15, 2008. So it was an important event in awareness campaign. Many partners collaborated in this project. Young video makers were invited to complete the sentence, democracy is. This was the sentence, and they were to complete it in 3-minute video. More than 900 people from 95 countries sent videos. Young people from the Gulf also participated. 6 winners from 6 regions of the world were chosen online. One of them, Roding Hamidi, was from the UAE. Winners were invited to visit New York, Washington, and Los Angeles. They met democracy-related groups in the United States. They visited film and media organizations in America. This competition became multi-dimensional activity for democratic awareness. A Kuwaiti official took part in an international visitor leadership program, IVLP, in 2007. The main focus of that IVLP program was interfaith harmony. So with this first part of chapter 4 comes to an end. So I think we should stop here.
Sure.
Hmm?
Sir.
Okay. What time?